All right. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Welcome to another Success Live. Today, I have Devin and Carrie with me. Devin is an occupational therapist here at Success, and Carrie is a speech pathologist. And today, they are going to be talking about specialized equipment used in therapies here that we offer at Success. So I'm going to let them take the mic now and share with what they got to today.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in today. So this topic today follows suit with the previous two installments that we've discussed regarding concussion and mild traumatic brain injury. So Carrie and I are going to be talking about some specialized equipment, technology, different things that we have here at Success to help with brain injury recovery, mild traumatic brain injury recovery, concussion management, and how we incorporate them into our programs. So if you tuned into our other, our podcast and our other Instagram talking about concussion management, this kind of follows suit with our previous discussions that we've had. So, what I want to start off the bat with is, all of the clients that we see here come in and we do individualized evaluations and assessments on everybody. So everybody's treatment plan is different. So these technologies and things that we're going over today might not be appropriate for everybody that we see. They might not need the certain technology. However, this is just kind of a broad overview of, awesome things that we have to offer here. So the first thing that we're going to talk about from like an OT, PT, and speech perspective is the NeuroMove biofeedback.
Yes.
So this is an awesome machine because it really requires active participation from the person who's using it. So it's used for neuromotor recovery, and it can be used on any muscle belly to help facilitate motor return, to a limb. Carrie can kind of speak to speech therapy, what she uses it for. Yeah. However, it uses visual and auditory prompts for the client to be able to activate the device. And then it provides stimulation based on the muscle response of the person. So it's not just like a passive stim that you can put on somebody, like a TENS unit or like a functional electrical stim that you can put on somebody and it just runs and the person doesn't have to pay attention. The person very much has to be an active participant with this device. It also helps with spasticity and tone management because the person can actually see on the screen their muscles contracting and how tense their muscles are. So then it can help reteach the brain and the person what it feels like to have a relaxed muscle. Because sometimes after an injury, it's hard to gauge how to relax your muscles. So this is a really cool device. You can use it, again, on various muscles. You can use it for different situations and scenarios. Somebody could have movement, but you're just really working on relaxing that spasticity or stiffness. And so that's why you use it. And then Carrie also uses it for various speech things as well.
Yeah, so in speech, we use the NeuroMove in the context of swallowing. So this is a great tool to help retrain muscles that are used in swallowing. So, for example, you can put it under your chin and the suprahyoid muscles, and then do a series of swallowing exercises, and the person can participate, see the contraction, and also get that stimulation as well. So it's really helpful for swallowing, strengthening as well.
And it's really cool too because the clinician can set individualized parameters on this. So there's a threshold that the person needs to achieve in order to get that biofeedback. So if the person is having trouble contracting their muscle, so if we're working on wrist extension, if they're not able to contract their muscle enough, the threshold will drop automatically to make that goal a bit more achievable for the person. And then as they gain strength, that threshold will increase. So it really works on retraining the muscles, strengthening the muscles, strengthening the signal between the brain and the nerves for correct movement patterns. So we definitely use this a lot for our clients here. Another thing that I want to review is we use cervical proprioception lasers. So this is the Senmokor sensory motor control oriented rehab system. So this essentially, you know, we're going to look super stylish here. You put it on your head. Do I look good? And it has a laser. I won't turn the laser on because of the screen, but there's... You want me to turn it on?
Do it.
All right, so there's a red laser that comes up. Potentially. Is it on? Do you
Yes,
see it?
I see
Okay.
it. I'm trying not to look at it, but I
Don't
see
look into the light. Oh, there we go. I see it now. So this we use on our clients to work on cervical and posture management and positioning. So to keep people in the middle, in the center, we have various different activities we can put on the wall that the person can use with this, like mazes, targets. So we can do this if somebody's sitting, supported, unsupported, if they're standing or walking. We're doing wheelchair mobility training, but it just helps to bring awareness, you know, to where that person's head is and where their posture is to try to help retrain them to midline. So we use this quite frequently too, in a combination with a lot of other therapy techniques in their sessions. So we'll use this incorporated with, you know, PT oftentimes will do like dynamic balance with using this to really help integrate all the systems to work together. So that is this.
Yeah. And this is great, a multifaceted tool, like Devin said, because even for some speech goals, we can do this simultaneously while working on, like, pragmatics, for example. Like, you should keep your head up and look at the person when you're talking. So this is a great way to practice keeping that head up and bringing awareness to where they are in space.
And in our therapy sessions, too, you know, as we spoke in our last Instagram, you know, we are very interdisciplinary. So, you know, we communicate a lot in our department between PT, OT, and speech. So if Carrie has pragmatic goals for her clients, we are definitely carrying them over in OT and PT. So, you know, I'm thinking of a particular client right now who has a lot of trouble sitting up. He can sit up, but he needs a lot of cues to do that and to carry that over. So we will put this on him in speech, OT, and PT and focus on eye contact, articulation, voicing as he's talking to us in PT and OT, because we know that that's a goal that he has in speech therapy as well. Absolutely. And then this helps give him the visual feedback that he needs to be able to see that he's doing it correctly. Because sometimes it's hard for the brain to judge, you know, am I in the right position in space? So that really helps a lot. And another thing I want to touch upon too is here at Success, the clinicians in PT, OT, and speech, you know, most of the treatments are provided by certified brain injury specialists, which is, I think, super important, just because it really emphasizes the skill required to help guide our clients through the program, really focusing on goals and that really skilled treatment that is required to help the clients get to where they want to be as well. Because, you know, brain injury recovery is a journey. It's not a quick sprint. It, you know, has multiple layers that we have to go through, and it sometimes can be a lifelong process. So I think having, you know, the skilled specialists is really important too, with the types of different treatment approaches that we're doing with our clients. We also, at our other outpatient location, we do have the Neurosensory Motor Integrator, which is a division of the SANET visual integrator. So this is something that is really awesome. It's a big screen, and I can, if I'm able to, Janelle, I can turn my computer around just to kind of show a little bit. I can hold it up.
Yeah, I can hold it if you need to
Thank
navigate
you.
it, yeah.
So I don't know if you'll be able to see it exactly, but it's a screen, and what it focuses on is like eye hand coordination, reaction time, saccades, short-term memory, balance, all sorts of different things that we have in the clinic at one of our outpatient locations. But it looks at like metronomes, your ability to, look at words and recall them at a later time. So it really integrates all sorts of different types of executive functioning skills, balance, problem solving, all of those different things in this one multiple programs within this device. So we are all trained and skilled to use this with our clients. Now, again, it might not be appropriate for everybody to use, but it's really challenging, and we have gotten such good feedback from our clients on this, and they really enjoy using it. The awesome thing, too, is each client gets their own, their own folder, per se, and it tracks the progress. So you can go back in and see on evaluation how the client did, and then, at each recert or on discharge, you can compare and actually graph the progress that the clients have made, which is awesome. So we use this really frequently, and, we incorporate a balance board, physio balls that the clients can sit on, distractions in the background, metronomes to kind of work on multitasking, and it just really helps to bring all of the systems together, visual, vestibular, and like proprioceptive systems to really get the clients to that next level. And it sometimes is nice too, because in a functional environment, the person might be experiencing symptoms, but then it's hard to replicate that once they're in a structured environment, like a therapy environment. So sometimes running these programs helps to set up that context where it will elicit some symptoms, and then we can kind of be able to address where the issues are. And it's easier for us to pinpoint, okay, this problem is happening in this context. So then we can just run, a couple more programs to kind of help integrate that. Let's see here. And in addition with the neurosensory motor integrator, we also have cultivated like numerous relationships with neurooptometrists in the area, which is super important as well, because years and years ago, after a mild traumatic brain injury, concussion, or even a more severe traumatic brain injury, people would get like 95% better. And if they could, walk, talk, eat, dress themselves, and be pretty functional, they would, be like, okay, yep, your rehab's done, that's good. But what research was showing is people were still having a lot of visual issues that were kind of sliding through the cracks that weren't being addressed. And people weren't able to, return to work, return to driving, return to school because of these visual issues. Now, within the last few years, these visual issues have been more highly researched, with different things to do to help with remediating them, or at least compensating for them to help improve the person's quality of life and integrating into their roles in the community and things that are important to them. So we have here at Success have been able to maintain relationships and gain relationships with neurooptometrists, which are super important because, if we see a visual issue going on with one of our clients, we can refer to neurooptometry, and then they can provide us with a specific treatment protocol using the neurosensory motor integrator that we can do in their therapy to help work on that relationship with the eyes, to strengthen them or whatever the treatment might be to help remediate the visual deficits that the person might have. One of those things is, the Brock string to help with convergence, insufficiency, to help the eyes work together to produce one image if somebody's having double vision. But there are multiple other treatment strategies that we can use as well.
Yeah, so I just want to touch base. We talked about some techniques using auditory and visual feedback. Another great one for speech is use of a sound level meter or other sound software that can pick up frequencies and the intensity level, which is volume, to help give that feedback to the clients so they know, oh, I'm only at this many decibels and nobody can hear me. So I see this and know I need to go higher or I need to go louder, which really helps get that communication back to where they would like it to be and meet those goals in their treatment plan. So.
And then the last thing I kind of want to talk about too is also with mild traumatic brain injury or concussion, if people developed post-concussion syndrome, oftentimes they'll have some sensory components that accompany that. So we also are able to, on evaluation and then in subsequent treatment sessions, complete a sensory profile with the clients if needed, to determine if the person is more sensory seeking or sensory sensitive within their particular environment, and then we can make sensory bins. We actually, our other occupational therapist, Amanda, is working right now with a client with a sensory bin, to kind of help to reduce symptoms and to reintegrate different textures and sensations so they're more comfortable and tolerable and less triggering. So that's another thing that is important too, to treat with our clients. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, the evaluation process is pretty comprehensive, and you might not capture all of the information on the evaluation. As you treat the person and get to know them, more things might be brought up in your treatment sessions, and then you can address them, by areas of importance. The ones that the issues that are the most distressing for the person, you can start with, and then, go from there. And then oftentimes, once the person starts to see the progress that they're making, it's really amazing to see the recovery that can occur even, months, years post-injury as well.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for these two lovely ladies? If you are watching this later and still want to put a comment or a question down in the comments below, you can do that and we can have the ladies answer the question. But does anyone have anything? Hey, we got some people saying hello.
Great. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is like the exciting stuff. Like the other, the podcast was super important, just kind of talking about concussion symptoms, and then, the last Instagram about like what PTOT and speech does here. But like this is like the meat and potatoes of what we do, the exciting stuff that we love to do with our clients every day. So, if you have questions or if you want any additional information about anything, don't be afraid to reach out.
Absolutely.
So.
All right, Carrie and Devin. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us. Thank you, everybody who joined us from live. That is all we have for today. Please join us next Friday, same time, same place. We will see you then.